right, there we are. So it's kind of a snowy, blowy day, and I'm finishing up my sit and spin script. I'm way behind this month, but life has been crazy. I've been doing unexpected house fixing stuff and turmoil everywhere, as you can probably tell by my wild hairdo that I still haven't gotten cut. I may take a razor to it myself just for fun. And I'm out of hair dye, so I can't make it blue anymore. I got to get to the city to get my hair dye. But good morning, Chris. For today, I wanted to make Rolegs from my alpaca and bamboo because I really like the mix. It just didn't work in a combing process. So on my regular cards, my 72 TPIs, I tried to make Rolegs. They didn't blend up so well.
It's a text message.
I tried doing them on my smaller hand cards, I think they're 110s, and it didn't turn out so well. So here's what I'm going to do. Just let me tip this down so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Are you ready for this? That's right. I'm going to cut my fibers. No! I need to make them a little bit shorter to make good Rolegs. So I'm going to just snip off some shorter fibers, and I'm going to see how they card up. I may not continue with this path, but for the moment, I am going to cut. And I'm cutting it really short, like that long. And we're going to see what happens because, that's kind of my thing is I just see what happens. So I got a few little blobs of bamboo, a few little blobs of alpaca, and I'm going to try carding them together and see how they turn out. So I had some questions in DMs on Facebook on carding. Not an expert, but I will show you some things I've learned to make it easier. So they always tell you that there should only be a whisper of tines, and I always find that very hard. I find what works better is to put the cards together so the teeth are slightly meshed, then lift and pull, lift and pull, lift and pull. And that seems to work better for me than trying for the whisper of the tines. I'm not good at whispering. I'm very loud. And when you want to lift the fiber from one card to the other, that's the other way you can do it, is just mesh your teeth and swoop. Mesh your teeth and swoop. Oh, hold on. McAfee's bugging me again. Get out of here, McAfee. I should really uninstall that. But the flick gives you the lift. Then to transfer this to this, just start with the fibers at the end, the beard. Push that onto your card, and then just push down. And that will transfer all the fiber from this card to this card, or at least a lot of it. And then you can just start at the bottom and start working your way up. And I think I cut this way too short, but let's just give it a mash. Hardly a whisper of tines. Okay, so that is blended enough. So I'm going to transfer this fiber to this card. Then I'm going to transfer this fiber to this card. So take the beard and then push down and lift it so it's sitting on top of the card. You can even do this a little bit. Then take this card, flip her upside down, push that beard, fold it over, put your hand flat, put your thumb towards the handle so you're not trying to work around it. Use the edge of your card to roll it, and then hold it with this hand. So push it up, pinch it with that hand, keep that roll going. Then when you hit the end, roll it across. Well, that didn't work any better. I'm going to spin this if it kills me. It just might. Oh, I'm just so determined that I want this blend. I've got it everywhere. Okay, I definitely cut that too short. All right, so let's go back to these cards. And I'm going to try laying our bamboo first in a regular fashion this way. Then we're going to take our alpaca and we're going to be weird and we're going to go crosswise. Although maybe I should have done the alpaca first and put the bamboo over top. Well, we'll try both ways. So these are 72 TPI, so they're a fairly coarse card. And again, we're going to just start at the bottom and just gently pull the fibers. I just find it easier myself to work with I should have curved hand cards because that's basically what I do. I just find that works for me. So there's one side, there's the other side. So I'm just going to transfer it back onto that one. So basically I tip it up so it grabs and then I just comb it through the tines. And that's how I'm combing without getting those huge crunchy noises. All right, transfer it back to this card. It's blending better now. So just bend it till it catches and then just comb it through. Well, that all came off in one. So we're going to put it back on because I want to comb it through the tines. This has just been working better for me lately, so this is how I've been doing it. Okay, so that's a pretty good blend. I think I just put too much fiber on it because it's a mess. So I'm going to pull this stuff in, and then I'm going to recomb it more centrally. Now, I'm sure there's probably 5 people right now telling me, oh my God, how can you do it that way? But, you know, everybody's got to figure out their own method for carding. I definitely have too much on here because this stuff is so flighty. So I'm just going to pull off a handful and I'll put that aside to add to my next mix. It's just so light and floofy. It's really, really hard to control. And it's not static. It's just that floofy. All right, I'm going to try turning this into a roll egg. Tuck my ends in here. It's an interesting roll egg, but it is a roll egg. So that seems to be working better. So I'm going to do that on these hand cards. Only this time, I'm going to put my alpaca on first. And I'm going to put it sideways. You can always load your fiber like this on your cards. Don't be shy, because you are going to then comb them straight before you roll them up in your roll egg. Now I have this bit that's already partially mixed, so I'm going to put that over top. And then I'll add a bit more bamboo. So you can see how I've kind of got the alpaca going one way, the bamboo going the other way, but all in the teeth. I didn't just lay it on the teeth. I've actually pushed it into the teeth so that I can then blend them. So I'm just catching the tips and then combing it through. Now, I only just saw this process demonstrated by somebody on YouTube. I can't remember who. If it was you, say, hey, that was me. And it made a lot of sense to me, and it's been working so much better. And I've owned cards for, it's got to be at least 10 years. And I'm still finding new methods that work better for me. So I'm always of the opinion, just keep trying everything. Yeah, Chris, it works, because then you just comb it straight, right? See, they ended up folded over a bit, but as you blend it, it'll work itself out. And that also works really good if you're trying to comb open locks, if you put them on sideways, because then you're pulling from the side of the lock, and it tends to want to pull open easier that way, which is what I've done 90% of my carding has been with locks. Now, I do prefer using my smaller hand cards, but for this fiber, it's definitely not working. So I will just keep using these ones. So you can see that despite starting out sideways, the alpaca is now straight up and down. Oh, you mean I said something interesting today? That's amazing. That's got to be like a record, right? I will say this combo is so light and floofy. That's what makes it so difficult to work with. So, like this process. But I think once I wrestle it into some form of roll egg, I'll be able to spin it a little easier. I'm hoping, because I so love this combo and I just want to make it work. So it's not making great roll eggs. So what I want to do is find my knitting needles, and I'm going to try wrapping them. Now, where did I put my knitting needles? I think they're, 1 second. Play some elevator music. I'll play Jeopardy. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. I'm back. I have my dowels for my blending board. That will work. Sort of. Let's hope. Wait a minute. Maybe my knitting needles are actually in there. Because, of course, I still haven't sanded my dowels. You know what's in here? Knitting needles. And some other dowels. I'm going to use my knitting needles. I'll put these back in there. All right. I am so covered in fiber right now, but that'll all come off with just a rubber glove or a damp sponge. Okay, let's go again. I'm going to put my alpaca sideways. I'm going to keep it a little more centered this time. And I'm going to use a heck of a lot less. Let's see if we can make a decent roll egg out of this mess. So I got Discovery Plus subscription. It's like $5 a month. And you can watch all kinds of like Discovery, the Learning Channel, all kinds of shows from those. I've been rewatching Deadliest Catch from the beginning. And they were babies. Oh my gosh, they were so cute. I don't know if any of you watched Deadliest Catch, but oh my gosh, has it been wow. It's like, what? They were ever that young? They look so healthy. Okay, that one I put way too little on, so I'm going to find the balance here. All right. Stretch. 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 Yes, I'm forever making noises as I'm doing this stuff. All right. This is like the teeniest, tiniest little bit ever. But I want to see if wrapping it with the knitting needles is going to help. Just because this is such a light, airy fiber, I think that giving it that extra wrap around the knitting needles is going to help. Oh, yeah. There, that's actually sticking together. Now we have our process. Yay! Now I can just sit and make roll eggs and we can chat. So what's everybody been spinning? I haven't had any time to do fiber arts between making stuff for craft fairs and doing unexpected renovations and everything else. So yeah, Chris, it turned out much better. So this is like an indulgence for me right now because I haven't had any time to do fiber stuff, but I'm hoping to get stuff taken care of this week. And then next week I can get back to doing more videos because I miss it. Do I eat egg rolls or what? Well, Ian, yes, I do eat egg rolls. Why would you ask? What have you been knitting, Chris? I've been doing like little projects like dragon scale wristers and dice bags and a couple of pixie hoods and stuff like that. So just quick projects to try to get them ready for the craft fair, which is this weekend. So that will be off my table. And then I can get some fibery stuff done because I'm so missing it. Oh, eat roll eggs. Okay, I got you now, Ian. You're being... My brother has the worst sense of humor. Dad jokes for sure. And it's roll lag. L-E-G, not roll egg. There's a difference. There we go. And I do have the script for Sit and Spin is mostly done. I just need to polish it up, which is why I'm getting these ready because I plan on doing that next. Ooh, a cardigan. Nice. The Harvest Cardigan by Tin Can Knits. Sounds pretty. I would like to get back to just doing projects for fun again. That's the problem with craft fairs, right? We all end up just frantically making stuff that will sell, not necessarily stuff that we would like to make, but you know. Okay. Yeah, these are definitely turning out better. This isn't very well blended, but I don't care. It'll give it a stretch of green and then a stretch of brown, and I like that. I just want to get this into a usable format for spinning. Give it a little twist here just to snug it up. Actually, I really like that look. Can you see it's like green into the brown? It's like an ombre effect. I kind of like that. Maybe I'll make my roll eggs look like that. Oh, free patterns are even better. Love free patterns. All right, let's try putting some, now that I've made an ombre one, I want to do that. So let's try putting on some alpaca. And then we will put on some bamboo. And we're doing it in two distinctive stripes here. Then I'm just going to take a little bit of bamboo and put it over the alpaca. And a little bit of the alpaca and put it over the bamboo. So that way we'll get a little bit of a blend, but two distinct colors, more like an ombre effect. At least in theory, that's how it's going to work. Let's see what happens in practice. Oh. Bobbo is sleeping on top of the cat tunnel because he's a little weirdo. So there's how it looks from that side. And there's that side. You can see it's definitely one side's more alpaca and one side's more bamboo. Yes, the craft fair this weekend is mine. It's Geek Fest, the Christmas Geek Fest. So it's more geared towards gamers and cosplay and stuff like that, which is very fun and I'm very excited. But I'm also very busy just trying to get ready for it. I think I'm ready. I'm just doing a few more odds and ends now to throw into the craft fair. If they sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. It's the same way every year. And because I'm not a hobbyist crocheter, you know, I just did that to roll it into a roll egg, silly me. I use like fine fibers and real wool and not acrylic, and I do projects that take a long time. My stuff is fairly pricey, so I don't necessarily make a lot of sales, but the people that I do sell to appreciate the craft for what it is, which is fine by me, because I don't want people who are going to be like, oh, you charge too much and don't understand the value in what's there. So that's my target audience, are people who appreciate the difference between an acrylic machine knit piece and a handmade, hand spun, hand everything hat or scarf or whatever. Yeah, this is definitely working much better. I'm very happy with how these are turning out. So yeah, craft shows can be very difficult for me. There was one I don't even go to anymore where the other vendors came over and told me that I would never sell my stuff at the prices I charged. And I had just done a craft fair the weekend before where I sold like 3 felted shawls at $90 a piece. They were all hand felted out of merino, blah, blah, blah. And I told her, well, I've already sold 3 of them. And she looked right at me and said, no, you didn't. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever. So I don't go back to that craft fair because she literally sells her stuff for less than the cost of the wool. And I'm like, what is the point? And she's like, well, just to earn some extra income. And I'm like, you're not earning any income if you're not even making back the cost of your materials. Like, it made no sense to me. But anyways, that was not my kind of craft fair. So I haven't been back to that one. I generally only do 1 or 2 a year. I'm not big on craft fairs. So I do a couple, mostly just for fun. And my mom does amazing stained glass. If you're looking for her, go on Facebook, Juby Jewels. She does amazing stained glass. So she's always doing the craft fairs. So often it's just an excuse for us to hang out and maybe sell a few things. She does really well. But for me, it's mostly just, I'll go keep mom company and, maybe make a few sales and see some peeps and that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't make a huge income off of craft fairs, and that's fine. If I make enough to buy a few things at the craft fair, I'm usually happy. I like to support other artists. All right. Yeah, so I like this blend. I'm not going for like a fully blended blend, if that makes any sense. I just want to make them a little easier to spin and have some strippy stripes. I'm setting up with mom again. Yeah, after the Geek Fest, Ian, I'll be taking my stuff over to mom's for she's doing shopping by appointments. So rather than load everything up, take it to her house, then have to load everything up and take it to the Geek Fest, then load everything up and take it back to mom's, I'm just going to wait and go to mom's after Geek Fest. I am making, as Ian would say, roll eggs. Roll eggs for spinning. They look like this. See? And then I'll spin from the end because I really like this blend, but I can't card it or comb it together because it just doesn't work. So I'm determined I'm going to figure it out. These ones aren't that curly to call them Shirley Temple curls, Laura, but they're just another prep for spinning. They're not quite as tight as the pony roll eggs, which is what I was making before. These are more thick and open. They're for longer fibers. Yeah, I'm beating the fiber into submission for sure. Like this stuff has just been so resistant to finding an easy method of spinning it, but I just love them together. So I'm determined. There we go. And this seems to be the way to do it. And we're going to twist, 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 twist. And draft it out. Come on. Draft. Oh, now it's really fighting me. It does not want to draft. Okay, fine then. I won't draft it. I will just roll it on. And it can be stubborn all it wants. I'm going to win. I'm telling you. I'm going to be spinning this during sit and spin. So you'll be able to see what I end up making with it. So I've almost got enough. I'll do a couple more. And then I will go and I will shoot the sit and spin because I doubt I could do a sit and spin live. Although that might be fun to try sometime. What do you think, guys? Should I do a live sit and spin someday? I could just tell you the story and you guys can ask questions as we go. That might actually be fun. Oh, well, now I'm liking the idea. Thanks, Laura. The fiber stands no chance. No, it does not, because it's going to do what I say. Darn it all. What do you think, Chris? A live sit and spin? Would that be fun? I think it actually might be entertaining. I'd put something up on the community tab so you guys could see what you can find, see if there's any questions, stuff we can discuss, but it might be fun. Maybe we'll try that in the new year. As it stands right now, I still got to get this month sit and spin up, and then I got to get December sit and spin done. after this week. After this week. This week has just got me stressed out. Live sit and spin of Christmas stories. Now, that's interesting, especially since originally Christmas stories were always ghost stories. And that was the tradition, was you would sit around by candlelight, by the fire, and tell ghost stories at Christmas time. That was the original tradition. And I think that might be fun to go back to. I'm thinking we're going to do it. I'm going to gather up some traditional Victorian Christmas ghost stories, and we can have a live sit and spin, and I'll tell you Christmas ghost stories. That's such a brilliant idea. I love it. You guys are brilliant. Let's do that. Okay, now I have an idea of what to do for next month's sit and spin. Yep. That's exactly it, Laura. That's where the Dickensian tale of A Christmas Carol, that's where it came from, was from that tradition of Christmas ghost stories being told. I believe it was a Victorian tradition, the ghost stories being told at Christmas time. Now, I can't remember if it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I would have to check into that again, because other than knowing that it was a Christmas tradition, I don't remember the details. But I will figure it out, and then we'll schedule a live so that everybody can plan to do it. I'll have a look over time zones and see which would be the ideal one for everybody to join in. And we can tell Christmas ghost stories. There's so many versions of A Christmas Carol, but it's almost like a comfort thing, right? I don't know if Ian will remember, but there was a cartoon we used to watch every Christmas, The Selfish Giant. I'm going to have to find it again, because I just remember loving that. And I don't really remember much of the story other than the selfish giant had a walled garden, and the little kid, I think, ended up in the corner of the garden at Christmas time freezing or something. I just don't really remember. I just remember loving it. So I'm going to have to go and find that. It's probably on YouTube somewhere, but it was awesome. And that was like one of my Christmas things that I remember from way back in my childhood. It was kind of depressing, but you know, the true old school Christmas stuff was a little bit dark. And I think we figured out that I'm a little bit dark just for what I do in my sit and spins. I swear I'm an inhaling alpaca right now. But these roll eggs are turning out great. So I'm very happy with that. Of course, I'm going to have to start moving faster if I'm going to get this all spun up. They're all done up. But, you know, I just enjoy the process so much that for me, speed isn't a huge thing. There's no Rona here, Ian. As far as I know, I am not allergic to any fiber animal. I haven't found anything yet, anyways. I've done buffalo, yak, llama, alpaca, camel, every kind of sheep I can get my hands on, cat, dog, rabbit. Yeah, I don't think I'm allergic to any of them. At least I hope not. And I hope I don't develop an allergy, because you can just develop an allergy out of the blue. Can you imagine suddenly being allergic to sheep? Oh, just thinking about it makes my heart hurt. What if I couldn't work with wool anymore? Oh, that would make me cry. I literally self-soothe by doing these things. It's part of the reason why I work so slowly is I'm just kind of like, hmm, zoning out, all chilled. Yeah, any crafting materials would be upsetting. I don't know. Just wool would really break my heart. I'd find a way to work with it anyways because I'm stubborn like that. Be wearing like gloves and stuff and a mask just so I could work with it. Oh boy. All right. There's another one down. Yeah, I'm definitely liking how it's working up with these now. All right, we've Siege. Wow, caught you in a live. You did catch me in a live. Work next to the AC unit. Just blow everything across the house. Why not? You should see me right now. I am just literally covered in fine hairs. I don't know if you can see it. It's probably not a good enough camera on my laptop. Let me see. Can you see that piling up? I am literally covered in fluff. It's crazy. You could knit with roll eggs. You could just stretch them out and then just start knitting them, but your final project wouldn't be terribly secure. I am working with some bamboo and some UK alpaca. I tried combing it in a previous video and it was just too fine and fluffy and fly away to be able to comb it together to blend it. So I've been using my cards and gone through a few techniques. We tried cutting it. We tried putting it into roll eggs, tried a few things. None of it was working great until we figured out that I'm carding it together and then I'm making like giant 20 roll eggs with my knitting needles. And this is working. I'm actually getting tight little roll eggs so I can spin it because I love this combination, but it's so slick and fluffy. It just goes everywhere. So we're subduing it. And I'm doing my showing off my lousy carding skills. But I can do it good enough to get what I want. So that's all I care about. I never claimed to be a professional. I am a guerrilla spinner. Now I want to start singing Guerrilla Soldier by Gallo. They are cute, even better. They're subdued. I can use it the way I want to. I really love this blend, but it's just so, when I tried just rolling it into roll eggs, this is the kind of mess we would end up with. So definitely using the knitting needles is making it much more controlled and definitely much more usable because the other way was just wow. And I just love this blend. So persistence pays off. I found a way to blend it together. Now, that's not to say it's going to spin up all that great, but we'll find out when I do my sit and spin, which will be after this. I'll shoot it. Then I'll have to edit it. And depending on whether my computer cooperates, because it has this knack of messing up when I'm in a hurry. So it might be tomorrow's sit and spin or it might be the day after. With these knitting needles, I knit nothing. I have always used them for making roll eggs, but no, you could use these to make sweaters or anything at all. It's just a different size and material for the knitting needles. I could have tried the blending board. Yeah, I never thought of that. I'm still not used to having a blending board. I just came back from the mail and got some yak silk and a lovely steel gray tones. Oh, that yak and silk, if you over dye that, oh, It's metallic. I mean, just in its natural state, the yak and silk has got a metallic sheen to it that is just amazing. But if you over dye it, oh, the colors come out amazing. You do have to go with jewel tones though to get it to the yak to show the color. You have to use like darker tones. But oh man, is it beautiful. Just gorgeous. I mean, it just, if you don't want to dye it, that's fine. It looks absolutely gorgeous in its natural state because it has that metallic sheen. But for some reason, that yak silk combo, when it's dyed, is just chef's kiss. Beautiful. Amazing. Gorgeous. In fact, I'm thinking I need to get some yak silk and dye it just for fun. I'm a big fan of the yak silk look. It is a tricky fiber to spin though. Yeah, jewel tones are pretty awesome. Yeah, when you're spinning the yak silk, because of the different lengths of the fiber, it can be very tricky. So from the fold usually works the best, but some kind of woolen or semi-woolen spin works best for it to kind of like trap the yak in the silk. A straight worsted draw just kind of pulls out the silk and leaves the yak behind, and you don't get the best look. That can be the tricky part of it. Listen to me talking like I know anything. In my experience, let me qualify that with in my experience, because I don't want to speak as an expert on all things fiber. It's just in my experience. There we go. Oh, it's the first time you'd be spinning it? Yeah. Take a little piece and try spinning very woolen. And I think you'll see right away what I'm talking about, just because yak is like this long and the silk can be, anywhere from this long to, I find that if you're spinning if you're spinning full worsted, it just pulls the silk out and leaves the yak in your hand unless you spin relatively thick. But I mean, I spin relatively fine. So I find that some kind of semi-woolen, whether it be from the fold or just letting the twist into the fiber and drafting that way, like some kind of woolen draft is best for it. It's not imposter syndrome. It's just that I'm an experienced person, not a school educated person. Yep, you could turn it into roll eggs. That would work too. You just want to be careful that you don't, again, card the yak out of the silk. You want them to stay blended together. So one way to do it is like a faux lag thing, where instead of putting it onto cards, just lay it out on a flat surface and just kind of roll up a bit and pull off a roll egg. So that way you're not combing out. Combing out? Do you think I'm French or something? Talking with my hands. Yeah, so that way you don't end up combing the yak out of the silk. So, I mean, absolutely. If it's your first time working with it, like try a few things. Just take a little bit. I know it's super expensive, but take like a little chunk and try a few different processes until you find what works for you. Yeah, you could try it on a blending board too. Absolutely. I'd say take just a little piece and try several different methods until you find what works best. For me, I always found from the fold worked best for me, but I'm very comfortable spinning from the fold. A lot of people have a problem with it and it's really tricky for them. So you might find it easier to do a roll egg or put it on a blending board or whatever. You just want to be careful that you're not splitting the two fibers apart too much, or then you don't get the blend, which is what you want from the yak and the silk, is you want them to blend together into that yarn. Trying to think if I have some yak silk around. I don't think I do. Trying to think what's in my fiber box. I think it's camel and beaver. I don't think I have a silk blend. But yeah, once you figure out what process works best for you, it'd be great. Same price as a braided fiber. Wow. Nice. Good score. Hey, if you find a good price, snap that up. It's not a cheap one, that's for sure. If you can get sales or use coupon codes or whatever, stock up. But it is like the yak and the silk is really nice. Once you have it spun up, like it's beautiful fiber. You get the shine and the warmth, so it's great. And like I said, when you over dye it, oh, gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Yes, sometimes experience is better than school education. But if there's one thing I've learned on the internet, yeah, gotta watch it. People will jump on things big time. I try not to be sensitive, but sometimes. It is very soft and so, so pretty. I am a big fan of yak silk. Oh my goodness. I've got a basket here. And I'm coming to the end of getting low on my alpaca soon too. Still lots of bamboo left. But we'll just keep rolling. What? Yeah. Oh, songs from the 90s come flying back to my head. It's funny how in roving form, bamboo feels sticky when you try to draft it. It's like it sticks and then all of a sudden it'll just like slide past each other. But once you card it, it turns into like these fluffy flyaways. It's just crazy to me that it can change personalities so much just by one process. Personalities. It's fiber. It doesn't have a personality. Although in my world, it kind of does. And this is also a good lesson on you can make any fiber do anything you want. It just might be more effort than it's worth. In this case, I decided it was worth the effort to get this blend that I wanted. So I have persisted. But you may decide that it's not worth the time and the effort. Find another way to do it. And that's perfectly valid. I just occasionally take a notion and nobody's telling me otherwise. Just, stubborn. Yes, it is the same color combination. I'm just trying to find a better way to work with it, Laura. So that's why I've got this situation going on. I'm forcing it to submit to my will. Or maybe it's forcing me to submit to its will. It's hard to say, but I'm in a state of, damn it, you're going to do it. So, that's what I'm working with. I do like what I like. Fortunately for me, I'm not a hugely picky person. Like I love my textured yarns and stuff. It's fun. And I do like to kind of work within the personality of the fibers most of the time. Not so much in this case. I'm forcing them to submit. Yes, it does look like a natural color like moss. That's kind of part of the reason why I wanted to force it to submit. I love the color combo, but I also like the fiber combo, even though it is a real bear to get this to cooperate. It's just, they're both so fluffy and they just get out of control. And they're so slick at the same time. They're so fluffy that they just kind of slide all over the place. But this is definitely, like, definitely working. I have some control this way. So, of course, you'll have to wait and see it spun because I'm doing that in the sit and spin video. So we'll just hope that my computer cooperates, that I get everything recorded and edited quick, and it can be out tomorrow. If not, it will be out the day after. I think. What's today? Today's Tuesday? Help if I knew the day of the week. Yes, it is Tuesday. So if not Wednesday, it will be probably, yeah, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, this week. It'll be out. The Wrath of Doom. I just threaten it with, you're going to do it, darn it. And then I make it do it. I'm not very good at threats. I'm more better at just making it happen. Stubborn fiber was not going to get the best of me. Although generally by now I would have just given in and found another way to spin it. But for some reason, I just really, really love this blend and it's going to happen. Oh, Latte just woke up. Going for a drink. I should show you this. Okay, there is the cat tunnel. Can you see right up there? It's Bobo is sleeping on top of the cat tunnel, which is open, by the way, so they could go out if they want. But no, they're in here. Bobo. Yeah, he's out. He's not going to say hi. He's a little cutie. I've seen alpaca silk used as a substitute for mohair. Probably. This is going to be a pretty sturdy, hefty yarn when we're done. Because they're both a very dense fiber. They have a lot of weight to them. So I imagine they're going to make a pretty strong yarn. It's going to be interesting anyways. I do have the original sample I spun kicking around here somewhere, I think. I think it's actually right there under my bin. Let me see. I swore I saw it here this morning. Yeah, there it is. That was the original one that I blended on combs and spun up. And it's like, for the yardage that's here, this is definitely got some heft to it. And I'm pretty sure, can you hear that ping? That's a strong yarn. It is pretty dense, but it is also pretty soft. It's kind of nice. All right. I'm going to wind this one off, and then I think I'm going to sign off and go and, yes, music with yarn. Yes, I will finish this one, and then I think I'm going to go and shoot the sit and spin using these roll eggs. I'm going to try to spin them thinner, but I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see what happens when I get to the wheel. My attempt is going to be spin thin so I can chain ply, but we'll see. I might go for maybe a thread type so I could use it as a wrapping fiber. But for now, I'm just happy I've gotten it into a preparation that I can actually spin. So that kind of feels like a little victory to me. All right, so I am going to wrap this up. Oh, wait a minute. Come here, Tay Tay. Come here, Latte. Come say hi to everybody. And there's Latte. He's my bigger kitty. And he's just struggling to get away. He's like, no, I don't want to say hi. TJ, he's so shy. And it's funny because he's actually my cuddle bug. Maybe. Do you not want to even look at them? No. He's like, no, I don't want to have anything to do with them. No. But you can see that he's got swirls and Bubble has stripes. So they're two different kinds of tabby cats. And two different, very different sizes. Bobo's like 10 pounds and Latte's like 16. All right. So I am going to, now that you've seen the cats and everything, I'm going to sign off and I will go shoot the sit and spin. So that will be up this week. Promise. Just don't know which day. I'm trying for tomorrow if my computer cooperates. All right. So thanks for joining me, guys. And I shall see you all later. Have a great day.